O'Leary Ventures chairman, Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary. Kevin, don't you love this? I mean, he does start with these totally wild ideas, although when you really think about them, I mean, the Panama Canal Treaty, I remember when it was debated, Ronald Reagan debated with Bill Buckley about it and so forth. It is a contract. And it is a contract that has been broken literally thousands of times by the government of Panama, and China wants to get its greedy hands on it. What do you think the possibility is of Donald Trump coming in and say, hey, look, you guys broke a contract, it's ours?
Well, I think we know it's 100% probability that's going to happen, but Trump is a transactional guy. He's a negotiator. I think everybody understands that now, there's no doubt. And he picks his fights one at a time. Last week it was Canada, now it's Panama, and wow, we got Greenland on this list too. So, I mean, look, it's a very interesting way to start governing before you're actually the president. You do it by social media, you wake everybody up, they come flying to Mar-a-Lago. It makes sense to me. I don't see any reason why you can't do it. But the China thing in Panama is an issue, because if that was in any way affected and we didn't get access, that's a money saver for shipping in a very big way. So my guess is an envoy goes down there sometime in February and they start squeezing Panamanian heads to get a new deal.
By the way, your microphone is crackling a little. Just give it a little tug or something, just on your microphone there. I think it's there.
Any better?
I think you got it. The difference between Canada and China is monumental. I mean, Trudeau came into the U.S., bowed at the feet of Donald Trump and folded like a cheap suit. I don't sense the same kind of reaction coming from Xi. What's going to happen with Xi? They're going to play hardball. It is going to be hardball between the two presidents. We know that Xi wants to become number one by knocking us down, whether it's legally through more trade or illegally through things like fentanyl and everything. He's been trying to do that for years. We know that's his MO. How do you think Trump is going to respond to that? I mean, I suspect it'll be like we saw in the first term, where he comes in strong with these new tariffs, don't you?
China's a different issue completely to Canada or any other country. The only way, you've got to remember, since 1999, since they came into the World Trade Organization, they have broken the rules with every country, including the U.S., every year. I'm an individual who does business there. My businesses have been absolutely screwed. I've said it countless times. They don't play by the rules. There's nothing reciprocal in our relations. The only way to make it work with the supreme leader, as I like to call him, is to inflict massive economic pain and risk on him by imposing tariffs on sectors where many Chinese people are employed. I have nothing against Chinese people. I have a lot against their government. And the only way to put him at risk is to say, look, if you want to mess with the largest economy you trade with, then we're going to force a lot of people that make yoga mats or electronics or whatever else it is to be unemployed in your cities. They'll be rioting in the streets, they won't have any bread, and you will be out of power. That is the only way it's going to work. So very selected, high impact weaponry, like streets, whatever else it is, to be unemployed in your cities. They'll be rioting in the streets, they won't have any bread, and you will be out of power. That is the only way it's going to work. So very selected, high impact weaponry, like tariffs, but you've got to be hardcore. He only understands the stick. That's all he understands. Any weakness at all, he plays off, and he has done so for years. Yeah. So I'm hoping this is the administration that fixes the problem. I have really been hurt by China, and there are millions of other businesses in America that are in the same boat I'm in.
Absolutely. By the way, you mentioned the World Trade Organization. They still designate China as a developing nation. What that entitles China to are all these sweetheart loans that we partially pay for through the WTO, adding up to billions of extra dollars for the Chinese. Should Trump try to eliminate that designation of developing nation for China?
They're not a developing nation. Exactly. They're in an economic war with us and many European countries. That's got to get fixed. All that stuff has to get fixed. 40 years of getting screwed. That's what's happened.
and 40 years, by the way, of getting benefits that they don't deserve. And the Euros have gone right in there. And when there's a Democrat in the White House, they go right along. But I think it's going to be different now. Very quickly, the SEC, as we were just talking about in a previous segment, is going to change dramatically under Donald Trump. Paul Atkins is a big free market guy, unlike his predecessor. So what are you expecting in terms of opportunities that we couldn't see in the United States because the SEC played such a tough cop role that we won't see during the Trump administration? What more opportunities will exist?
They'll exist because decisions will be made, particularly in the crypto and digital payment systems markets, where we should be leading worldwide and we're falling behind because we can't make up our minds. Listen, Gensler had a point of view that everybody understood. He just litigated his way into the courts on it. We need to get some decisions so that firms like mine can be compliant. We want to play by the rules as we do in every other market, the debt, the equity, the options market. Just tell us what the rules are. Yeah. That's all we need to know. Yeah. And that once that's put in place, you will see an orderly transition into bringing crypto into the overall economic institutional infrastructure. That's what we want.
Good stuff, Kevin.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I can see the comment section now. What do y'all think of that? Man. Sick of these politicians making their life harder for everybody else, man. But, they're in for a rude awakening, man. We'll see how this thing plays out. But let me know what y'all think of this. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. God bless them beautiful patriots around the world, my brothers and sisters. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.